What you are looking at is a list of grants that are available. Okay. So, good evening. Good evening. Let me cut this music off. Okay, so y'all can hear me clearly. All right, so I'm on YouTube and TikTok. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the world. TikTokers, I need you to double tap that screen for me. Double tap that screen while we go ahead and get in this session. Tonight's class and session, we are talking about business credit versus personal credit. One of the biggest pet peeves for me that I see online is a lot of misinformation, right? So let's just kind of break this down. I want to share something and tell you guys something too. There's a huge difference between business credit and business funding, okay? Sometimes you guys get the two confused. So let's talk about this. What's business credit? Business credit is where you can actually access lines of credit through companies. Usually they're going to give you terms, right? When we say terms, means you get to pay. They'll ship you the product and then you'll pay for the product via invoice, right? So prime example, one of the companies that a lot of people go through is Quill, Uline, Granger, Summa Office Supplies, Creative CEO. It's a bunch of different ones, right? On my TikTok page, I have several accounts that you can set up. Also on the YouTube channel, I have several accounts that you can set up, right? But the biggest thing with credit is it's just that, right? That's what we consider in the industry business credit. Funding, business funding, and when it comes to loans and lending, that is different. That's not the same as business credit. So I feel like a lot of times everybody mixes up business credit versus business funding. And those are two totally different things, because business credit, you can build without using your social security number, right? That's only attached to your business name, LLC, corporation, however you're set up, your EIN number, right? And then it gets reported to Dun & Bradstreet. That's business credit. Now, business funding, a lot of times with funding, when you're looking to go get a loan from the bank, if you're looking to acquire 100,000, 200, 500,000, a million, what are they going to do? They are still going to pull your personal credit score. So even if you are, a corporation, right? They're still going to ask you as the CEO, what is your credit score, right? Whether it's a soft pull, whether it's a hard pull. So your credit does still matter when it comes to the business funding aspects. The only time your credit is not mattering when it comes to business funding, if you have proof that your business has been in business for years, you're filing taxes, you have documentation, you have bookkeeping, accounting system, you have financial statements like profit and loss statement, balance sheet, income sheet, right? I have a couple of lenders that lend on those particular items. You have 2 years tax returns, 2 years profit and loss, 2 years balance sheet, 2 years income. Yeah, they'll give you up to $1 million, but guess what? They're still pulling your personal social security score, even as a soft pull. Now, once that passes, then they'll go ahead and fund you and give you the money. Once they see the business bank statements, they ask for 6 months worth of business bank statements, right? So I hate when people get on here and just make it seem like, oh, you can just go and get 200,000 tomorrow. No, that's not the reality, okay? And then if that is the reality of you getting 200,000 tomorrow, you have paperwork to show that you have been in business and your business has been making this amount of money that can cover these kind of debts. Okay. So what we're going to talk about tonight is the credit aspect of it, right? As a business owner, you definitely should still be working on your personal credit. All right. But the beautiful thing is, in the event while you're working on your personal credit, you can still obtain business credit through these companies, as what I'm saying, which is the ones that I'm talking about. The Quills, the Ulines, the Grangers, you can even use NAV Business Boost. That's one of the companies that I utilize. You can even add them and have an extra account with them where they have a trade line and they're reporting to the Dun & Bradstreet for you, right? So it's a lot of ways that you can build your business credit and you can build up, but you also need to know the truth and the reality, okay? because a lot of people will say whatever they need to say to get you on here and then get your name and your email so that way they can start pushing content and selling you stuff and, you know, whatever they have. But the reality is you still have to have your personal credit together to obtain like real lines of credit and funding. All right. Do you guys have any questions based off of what I said with that? TikTok, I know you guys are new here. You got to be new. You can't be a somebody that's already on my page, because y'all definitely are not acting like it if you do. If you're new and you're just chiming in, the list that you see here behind my head, these are grants. And so since we don't have nobody on here that want to act right, let's just move this. We're going to take this grant list away because y'all don't need that information. So hopefully you got it already. Okay. It's been a long night. It's been a long night. I don't like to keep asking y'all several times to do the double tapping. All right. But I say it for a reason, because it helps me help you. So if we don't want to do that tonight, then I won't be answering any questions. YouTube, welcome. How are you? Hit that like channel on the YouTube channel. And then also, if you have any questions right now based on what I said, then let's chime on in. We can get this rolling. I'm not going to be here long tonight. Maybe, Rachel, if TikTok gets y'all life together over here, then maybe we'll bring the screenshot back up for you, because there is a lot of grants on that list. So if you guys are ready, that's a long list that you can get. Or you can also go to Joy Hunt's page. She's an attorney. That's the one who sent the email out today with that list. So yeah, the list could come back up. It all depends on how y'all act on TikTok. It's like I said before, if you're new here, welcome. Great. My name is Patrice L. Stewart. I'm the realest tax and business strategist that you're going to ever meet. I have over 18 years of experience in the financial, accounting, tax, and banking industry. I'm completely self-employed, have been self-employed for the last 14 years. I've been completely self-employed without a job for the last 10 years. And I teach and educate on this platform about taxes, credit, business, financial literacy topics, a lot of stuff. All right. I'm a wealth of knowledge. And like I said, I get on here at this time of night and I do what most people don't do. So what I'm not going to do is talk to people who don't understand the value of the information that I'm bringing and can't do something simple like double tap the screen. Okay. So thank you, YouTubers. It really depends more on where you're going to get the auto loan. So like I said, for business. Okay. Thank you for stating that. Really your credit score, even if it's going to be for business, when you're trying to go and get an auto loan, also remember this when you guys are trying to do auto loans in your business name, because again, that's something that's floating around TikTok and YouTube University, right? What you want to remember when you're doing, again, credit, personal versus business. All right. I want to really put this out here. If you're not 1000% sure that you have the funding to cover everything for the business, then don't do it under the business, right? So do you really have a legitimate business? One, if you have a legitimate business, corporation or LLC, one, you're not going to no auto lender and just going to get a car if you're not putting your personal credit up, if you have no assets or no paperwork, again, to show the amount of money that you're claiming, right? So again, if you're trying to go, let's just say you're going to go get a pickup truck under your LLC. If your LLC is brand new, you have no Dun & Bradstreet score, you have no business credit, you have no financials, no tax returns, no kind of statements, they're still going to ask you for your personal credit score, right? So you're personally still going to guarantee the loan and everything. Now, remember, when it comes to auto loans and business, your interest rate will more than likely be higher than what you get for a personal loan. It just is what it is. Because in business, we're charged more for everything. So again, this is why I say I like you guys to know and understand the real difference, because a lot of people will get on here and put a facade up like they're handling all of this business. But real business owners, we do things legitimately to actually be in business. You get what I'm saying? So if you don't have business credit built up, or you haven't don't have financials or tax returns to take to the auto lender, they're still going to pull your personal credit. All right. Then also remember, when you do get it under your business name, your insurance is going to be higher because now you have business or commercial insurance. It's not regular personal insurance. So you have to remember all of these different things before you want to go jump and buy a car in your business name. You get what I'm saying? Really, it's a benefit. Don't get me wrong. My car is in my business name, but I'm also a real legitimate business owner that I have an office. I've been in business over 14 years. I have financials, right? So I was able to go and get my car under my company name. You get what I'm saying? But if I didn't have that, I would have had to use my personal social security number. And that's just a thing I think a lot of people don't remember and realize when they're talking or following different pages. And that's the difference, again, why I'm on here, because I'm actually in financial services. I am a tax and business strategist. This is what I do all day, every day, is strategize for business. You get what I'm saying? So I just like you to understand that. Does that help your question? All right, perfect. I'm the same name, Alexandria, that I am on YouTube, that I am on TikTok. So I'm Patrice L. Stewart on TikTok. I'm Patrice L. Stewart on YouTube. Okay. Now, TikTokers, I'll come back and see if you guys have any questions in the meantime. So what I also like to say too here is I have a community. So I like to call this a community. We're all working together. So I know I don't expect you to double tap the screen all while I'm talking, because I know you're trying to listen at the same time. But you see those hearts that come up through the side? It's more than enough for you guys, for everybody to be chipping in and working together. So if you see the hearts go away, you're just coming on and double tapping. It's called teamwork, right? This is what it's called. That's all. So I'm not expecting one individual person to just be double tapping and listening at the same time. But I also have to explain to you guys how this works, okay? So more DNC. I have all of that. DNB, business over 4 years, tax returns. Bam, you good to go then. I mean, you could go companies like, I don't know what kind of car are you looking for your business. Ford does business financing. Ally, ALLY, does business financing. Mercedes does business financing. Toyota. Like, it just really depends on what you're trying to do. I went through Ford and got my vehicle. So I know for a fact Ford does it, and they don't usually give a whole line. Can I refer a CPA for what? Because sometimes y'all be wanting a CPA and you don't need a CPA. So remember, a CPA is a certified public accountant. So depending on what it is that you're needing, then yeah, I do know CPAs that I can refer you to. Okay. Well, figure that out first more as to what type of vehicle that you want. And then, maybe go from there. Let's figure that part out first as far as what you want to do. All right, I'll put the list back up. So I can't show you the grant list here on YouTube, but if you guys are on my TikTok channel, I do have a grant list that I have behind me on my TikTok page. So go there. Okay. Okay, let me refresh the screen. Home Depot has lines of credit. Yes, they do. Home Depot does have a business, or they have both, for commercial. They call it a commercial line of credit. But Home Depot does have business credit cards. And I want to say they used to pull Equifax. The other thing with business credit, whether you're doing business credit or personal credit, I always like to tell you guys, you should be strategic. You should actually look up these particular companies. You want to make sure who they pull. You want to look at the bank that they pull. You maybe even want to find out what bureau that they pull. Because remember, when we're dealing with credit, every single lender does not pull the same people, right? So some lenders pull only TransUnion, some lenders pull only TransUnion and Equifax, some pull all three, some only pull one, right? And some only report to 1, 2, or 3. So again, with credit, whether it's personal or business, you want to be very strategic with credit, right? You want to actually have a game plan. You want to map it out as far as who you're going to apply to, what banks you're going to apply to, because if you know that on your credit report you have negative stuff on your Equifax, you don't want to be applying to companies that are going to pull your Equifax. You get what I'm saying? So you're going to look at your credit report and you're going to analyze it, and you're going to see what's reporting on each bureau. That's the reason why you have 3 different bureaus. It's the reason why you have 3 bureaus. Every single account is not reported to all 3. All right. It's again, this is levels to this, it's understandings to this credit, right? So I'm very strategic, but when I'm applying for credit. She said, glad I got the screenshot. Do hard inquiries automatically fall off of your report after 2 years? Yes, they do. So on the very next day, on the 2-year anniversary date, that morning, that inquiry will be gone. You can also dispute your inquiries before the 2 years so that they're not sitting on there. But yes, every 2 years, your inquiries do fall off. Girl, and Tam, honestly, this is why I'm on here. I'm so sick of the misinformation being spilled out here. I'm gonna show y'all on here real quick. I took a screenshot of this young lady page earlier. Look at that crap. Let me just look at that bull crap. Keep your 9 to 5, start your business, corporation, or your LLC, file it under an S corp, pay yourself from your paycheck from your W-2 job until your business takes off. Now you instantly have 2 incomes. You're welcome. Like, ma'am, that is the worst advice that you could have ever given somebody on the internet in your life. And I commented on her thing to say, and this is what she put. Okay, no, that wasn't the right one. Sorry, y'all. I took a screenshot of something else. I don't know what that is. Here we go. I put, that was the worst advice ever. I'm a tax the business strategist, and you're hurting people with this information. And she put, girl, please, I'm degreed in business as well. Degreed in business do not make you a tax expert, because what you're telling people, one, is to do the worst thing ever, is to start a corporation and automatically list yourself as an S corp, and then pay yourself from your W-2 job. That sounds like some struggling crackhead stuff. Like this, you know what I'm saying? This is this to me is the problem with the internet. It's so much misinformation being spewed out here. And then when people like me, who are actually experts in the field, try to say something, those are the kind of answers and responses that we get. And I'm like, you know what, Patrice, I don't have time to be arguing with people who don't know shit online. What I tell y'all before, what Kanye be like, I ain't got time to be arguing with nobody who got less money than me, right? Like I don't have time to be arguing with nobody who has less experience and knowledge than me. It's sad. It really is. And honestly, that's another reason why I do get on here and educate so much, because unfortunately, I'm gonna be real honest, and y'all know who I am. It's my people that do this. If I have I'm gonna just be honest with you. If I have a conversation with one of my white clients or my Asian clients or even my Hispanic clients, they listen to what I said. They're gonna go and do their own research, and then they're gonna come back and be like, you know what, Miss Stewart, this is what I got. Now I'm ready to move forward. But a lot of times when I'm trying to have conversations with people who look like me, it's always argued 90% of the time. Literally. It's argumentative and combative. And it's like, hello, you don't know shit. You're here, you're calling me and working with me for a reason, right? But it's like, well, so-and-so said this and so-and-so said that. That is the problem with our community. Everybody want to listen to so-and-so. Is so-and-so an expert? Does so-and-so have a license? Does so-and-so do this for a living? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that is the problem. And for me, I am one of them people that my grandmother said, be the change that you want to see. So because I want to see people educated better, people of my color and race understand financial literacy better, this is why this is my assignment that God has given me. And I get on here at night and talk to y'all and try to educate y'all, because I ain't no point of talking about it, right? You all already on here agreed that it's misinformation everywhere. So how you gonna get the correct information? Somebody got to get on here and do the work. Somebody got to get on here and pick up the torch, right? This is what we talked about last night. Picking up the torch, picking up from where our grandparents left off of, trying to educate and build our houses and our wealth in our communities, right? It ain't gonna happen with all of us on here just talking about, yeah, that's how it is. All right, somebody got to make a change and do something about it. So here we go. Let's roll. What other questions y'all got? Here, I'll get out the way real quick so you can take a full screen. So TikTok, what you see behind me this is a grant list. So this is a grant list of grants that are available, and they all expire at the end of this year. I don't know any information. I haven't looked at any of these grants. I haven't opened up any of these grants. I got this list from a friend of mine, Joy Hunt, attorney Joy Hunt. She has an email. She sent the email out today, and I took a screenshot of this. This was in her email. All right. So you do have to do your own research on it, but at least take the screenshot and then you can look it up and see what all you need to do. Okay. I wish I could share this screenshot with y'all on YouTube somehow, some way. But we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. All right. So now let's get back to it. What questions do you have? Okay. The other thing I like to do is 90% of the time I'm on here, I don't have a class or a workshop that I'm offering, right? But I'm going to be honest. I do have a class and a workshop that I have available tonight for you guys that I want you to tap into. Because this is part of the reason too why I do some of this stuff is we have a lot of information that we could share on here, but also I have to be very limited to what I say on here as well, because it is a free platform. So I can only say so much on YouTube and TikTok. So I do workshops where we're in a Zoom workshop, right? We're in a Zoom meeting. So the next one that we have is the 5-day wealth challenge. I'm teaching and educating you on stuff like this. Personal credit versus business credit, right? Tax deductions, personal tax deductions versus business tax deductions. TikTok, I know y'all are so tired of YouTube universities putting everything about this whole infinite banking and life insurance, right? Ladarius Hunt on Wednesday, we're going to talk about the whole infinite banking and the life insurance and how you can use cash value and whole life insurance to help build wealth, right? The whole point is for us to have wealth and start building wealth again. How do you build wealth? How do you use your W-2 income that you are making right now with your job, right? How are you able to take some of that money and turn it into more money? How are you able to create passive income streams? Byron and Sharnice come on Thursday, and we're going to talk about mobile home investing. I've shared this with you guys here before on my platform, how I bought a mobile home for $2,000. I flipped it for $9,000 in 7 days. I made $7,000 in 7 days, right? So Byron and Sharnice is the one who I learned that from. They're going to be on the 5-day wealth challenge. So all 5 days we have a different speaker. Then on Friday is my wealth advisor, Gary Atkins, who set up my trust, right? I've shared that with you guys that the home that I live in, the home that I own, the other property that I own are not owned by me. They're under my LLC. My LLC owns my companies. And then my companies are also protected by a trust, right? So I have a trust. And my trust advisor is going to be on, and we're going to talk about that. This is how assets are protected, right? We call it asset protection. So once you acquire your life insurance policy, your first property, right? Your single family home that you're living in, right? If something happens to you tomorrow, what is in place for you guys, right? What do you have in place besides the life insurance policy? If you have that, because a lot of people don't even have a life insurance policy. But if you don't have a life insurance policy, what do you have in place that's going to help manage the money that you're leaving to your family, that you leaving to your kids? You get what I'm saying? So for me, I'm on a mission for you guys not to sell grandma house. We need to be buying our own blocks and communities back. If you have access to property, this is not the time to be selling your property. All right. And or also building generational wealth for the Black community. Okay. I do work with all clients in all 50 states. Let me put that out there. But I am also very passionate about my race. I'm very passionate about my community because we are lacking in so many ways. Seriously. It's just, it makes no sense how much money, trillions of dollars that we spend, but as a whole group, we're still not winning. So in order for us to get there, we have to know and understand these type of things. We have to know and understand to get in the room when you get access to people like me and the other people that's on the 5-day wealth challenge that are actually trying to help your community, because it's enough of us that's not trying to help the community. It's a lot of us that's taking advantage of each other. It's your own people that look like you that take advantage of you the most, that charge you astronomical prices, which is why I always say my challenge is crackhead prices. $197 to get millions of dollars worth of content over a 5-day period. Also with speakers, those are crackhead prices compared to what people are charging out here in my industry. Easily $2, $3, $4, $5,000 for the same 5-day workshop, right? But again, it's a difference from when you are coming across somebody who actually cares about their community. So the dollar amount is not always the first thing that we're looking at. Should you be compensated? Yes. We're getting on talking and teaching y'all for a whole hour or more every day, right? So yeah. All right, let's get back to the questions. I'm getting ready to refresh the screen, TikTokers, and then that way I'll be able to see any new questions that came in. Yes, I do offer personal consulting. If you click my profile page, it will also take you to my link tree. And then my link tree, you'll be able to book an appointment with me. So it's a link on there that says work with Patrice. The link tree will take you to, everything pretty much. So my link tree has several different options. This is how the link tree looks. So when you click that page on my profile page, this is the link tree. So when you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see a link that says work with Patrice. And then that's where you can book a consultation with me, okay? But while I'm speaking to you guys this evening, I'm going to keep this up as far as with the wealth challenge. This is the last workshop that we're doing for the year. I'm not doing any other workshops this month until January 2023. So this is the last one of the year. Also on that link, I did tell you guys that I'm only going to give you 7 days access. I want to let you know this. I decided when I was on TikTok on Sunday night, what's today, Monday, on Saturday night, I decided I'm going to give you guys 30 days access to the replay. Again, crackhead price. So if you miss anything during that live and you want to go back and watch it, you'll have access to the full session, the full workshop. The one we did in October, we were on for 2 hours each night. We did a whole hour extra in Q&A to make sure that we got everybody questions in. So again, this is live. This is not a pre-recorded course, okay? Everybody said y'all pre-recorded stuff, so you can't ask them questions. Again, I'm one of the only ones on here that's probably actually offering live courses where you can actually ask questions while the speakers are there. A lot of stuff y'all buy be pre-recorded because, again, that's a lot of these fake gurus out here. If you can't ask somebody a question face to face, so they can't get on live, then they ain't a real expert. How did you find out who will check and where? Okay. So Michelle, again, I'm sorry, is it Michelle? So I use a website so the old site I used to use is called Who Gave Me Credit. Don't nobody really use Who Gave Me Credit anymore. The more recent one is Credit Boards. So if you go to creditboards.com, BOARDS, Credit Boards, creditboards.com, and you click on credit pools. When you first get on there, it's going to be like 3 tabs. You're going to click on a tab. Sorry, YouTube, it took me away from y'all. Let me pull you back up. Oh, where'd it go? my YouTube go? Oh man. The phone kicked in. Did my YouTube go out? I'm sorry, TikTok. Hold on. I think it clicked my YouTube off when the phone rang. Hmm. Yeah, it did. All right. Well, I'm only on TikTok now. That's weird. The phone don't usually kick me out all the way. It say that I'm live. YouTube, I don't know where y'all at. I don't know how to pull you back up. I don't know where you went on the screen. So it say I'm still live. All right, there you go. Like, I don't know where you went. Okay, there y'all go. Thank you. Okay, let's get back to these questions. Okay, right. So that's where I go. I go to credit boards. So if you go on credit boards, there's a tab called credit pools, right? And then you'll click on that. So when you click on credit pools, TikTok, what I'll do is some of this stuff I'll go over it and show you on my screen because I can't do that with YouTube. So I don't want to be unfair. I'm gonna finish everything on YouTube and then I'll share my screen with some of y'all at the end that's still here. What do you do with all those inquiries when you buy a car? See, Simone, is it Simone? Okay, yeah, Simone. So Simone, welcome. I think you're new here because I go over this, right? This is another reason why I educate y'all because the worst thing for you to do is go to a car dealer and ask for credit. Because why? They're going to run your name all over the place, right? So what do? What you're going to do is you're going to get a credit union. Right. I've spoken about Navy Federal, but Navy Federal is not the only credit union. You can literally go to any credit union in your area, in your community, Google credit union near you. Simone, I don't know where you live, but wherever you live, Google credit union near me. And all of these different credit unions are going to come up, right? All you have to do is get in with a credit union. You're going to contact the credit union. You're probably going to wait a solid 30 days because a lot of credit unions now don't give you lines of credit and credit cards right away now with so many issues that's in the banking industry and fraud. A lot of times they want to see you being in the credit union for at least 30 to 60 days sometimes. And sometimes now, like Navy Federal, they have gotten more proactive with letting people know that they need to wait 60 days before they apply for any products or services, okay? But once you've been in there for a minute, at least 60 days, I say, right? Then you're going to contact your credit union. And you're going to say, hey, I want to get this car. You're going to pick out the car that you want. You're going to know the vehicle, the make, the model. You can even go to the dealer and look at the VIN number, all that if you want, right? Then what you're going to do is you're going to contact the credit union and you're going to say, hey, I want to apply for an auto loan. And they're going to ask you if you know the vehicle that you want, then they'll ask for the VIN number so they can give you so they can look up the value for that particular car. If you don't know what kind of car that you want, then that's okay too. Okay. There's nothing wrong with you not knowing what kind of car you want. Don't worry about that. Right. They'll still give you a check. So if you say they'll give you a line of credit based off of your credit score at that point, right? So if you don't know what kind of vehicle you want, but you want to know maybe how much you can get from them, then they can give you like a pre-approval, or auto loan pre-approval, and they'll say based off of your credit and your income, we'll give you 30,000, or we'll give you 40,000, or we'll give you 50,000, and then guess what? They're going to have a check ready for you. So either you can go to the bank and pick that check up, or they're going to mail you that check in the mail, and you're going to take that check into the dealer and you're going to walk in with buying power. That's what we call buying power. So you're no longer going to ever go and have your credit report ran all over the place because now you know better. All right. That's the old school way. They didn't teach us this kind of stuff in school. So we weren't taught properly and educated properly. Can you hand me that bag? We weren't taught properly and educated properly on how to utilize our credit. right? But that's what we think. We think we're supposed to just walk into a dealership and ask them for it. And that's the way that we don't want to do, because that's what they end up doing, is giving you 10 to 15 inquiries on your credit report. Now your credit score done drop, 20, 30 points. And then sometimes y'all don't even walk out with a car. So you done had your credit ran up the muck, and then they still didn't approve you for a car loan. So this alleviates all of that when you do it the way that I just gave it to you. All right. Latrice, all the time, baby. Say, but when that audit come up, who they come reaching out to? Exactly. Exactly. Because Pookie and them wasn't able to go ahead and answer your call after that. Oh, they got their money and gone. They don't know how to help you after that. That's why I always say you got to work with professionals. You got to work with professionals. Thank you, Shanika. QT Nika, thank you. He laughing. Yep, we all got different gifts. We just got to know to tap into them. Okay, I answered that one. About the personal. I do have a company that does credit repair. It's a young Black lady who does it. I'm actually know the owner, Jerry Tolliver. But Jerry does credit repair. Her company is called Fly Credit, and it's 2 Y's, FLYY credit.com. So if you go to Fly Credit, FLYY, 2 Y's, credit.com, she can assist you. She also has a business credit program too. So she teaches business credit, and then she also has a program where they will fix and repair your personal credit. Would it be advisable to start a non-for-profit to offset my for-profit? So graphics, that's not something that I could answer for you right now without, with just that one initial question. There's so many other things that I would need to ask you. But as far as you saying advisable to offset your profit, I kind of really want to know more what you mean when you're saying offset it. Because I have a for-profit company, but I also have a non-for-profit company, right? Which is called Sense of Responsibility. So when I give back to the community or I do giveaways, I've given away scholarships to schools, to Black kids to go to HBCUs. We've given toy drives, food drive. I've donated money to single moms, all through my non-for-profit, right? But my for-profit can donate to my non-for-profit, but it doesn't offset it. So when you say offset, I need to kind of understand that more. That may be a more consultation kind of conversation that you will want to have. But I don't do any advising on this free platform. There's no advice given. Everything I'm giving you is just general free information. I am a tax and business strategist. I am a tax expert, so I have the right to talk about taxes and finances and that stuff. But I'm not giving any kind of advice as far as to your individual situation, because all of you guys are different. Okay. So advice is a paid consultation. Let me just say that. Come on, LaShonda. I'm glad you got in the challenge, baby. Tap in. I'm telling y'all, this is the last one this year. I know I said in October I wasn't giving y'all this again at a crackhead price, but I came back. And I came back with even better topics, okay? Because these are not the same topics that we went over in the last challenge. These are all different topics, right? So it is what it is. Whoever ready and want to tap in and get this crackhead price information, you're going to be winning. And then whoever don't, okay, we'll see you next year. So yes, those of y'all that are in, go ahead, tap in and get in. You can text me to 773-253-8668 and join the challenge, or you can click that link, take a screenshot of that link, or you can go to my profile page and join the challenge. It's all accessible and easy for you. Let me put on here, or text me. Well, or text wealth to 773-253-8668. Chuck, my brother Chuck, I'm just seeing your stuff here on YouTube. Chuck, the finance guy, is on here. Chuck gonna be on the challenge. Chuck always start the challenge. Me and Chuck are so intertwined. I always have Chuck start the challenge because Chuck sets the tone for the challenge. The last challenge that we did, Chuck set the tone. So Chuck speaks on Monday. So Chuck, I just want to tell you again, brother, I love you. I appreciate you. I value you and our relationship that we have built over this last year. We are definitely in sync with what our goal is for our community and for the people who look like us. So I just want to say that again to you. Thank you. And can't wait to see you live on Monday. So I'm stuck at a 742 credit score for 8 months. I'm trying to get to a 750. What credit card do you suggest to boost my score? So Hawks Marie, I'm gonna just say Marie because I'm probably not saying that right. Let me give you a little something. So there could be a couple of things that's going on as to why your credit isn't moving. All right. One of the other things that I shared before, again, because we got plenty of days in the year, right? This is not the first conversation we've had on this. But one of the other things that we've talked about with you guys' credit score and sometimes why it's not moving is that payment date and that statement date, right? So that's another workshop. I'm gonna actually probably go over that later on this week a little bit to give you a little something else. I'm on every day this month, especially with 2023 coming in, and I'm trying to get more y'all mindsets together before tax time come and you not spending your money frivolously, right? That you actually have a game plan for this upcoming tax season and let's flip that money, right? But that's something else. But sometimes what happens is when you guys are stuck at a score, it has sometimes to do with what's on the credit report or how things are reported. So if you have credit cards and let's say your credit score is stuck, right? Sometimes, not always, but sometimes it's because of what's being reported, right? The balance that's being reported. So I really can't just throw out, like what's the best credit card for you to boost your score because I don't know what's on your credit report and I don't know what your score is. So that's one thing that I can't say and do to what's going to boost your stuff without knowing and looking at your report and then knowing what your score. I mean, you told me your score is a 742, but the biggest thing is the report itself because that's your lifeline is the report. So it's not, I would say go on credit boards and start looking and seeing yourself because again, credit is strategic. I personally don't apply for credit cards that don't give me rewards. I want rewards. So I travel. So I either want cash rewards or I want travel rewards. All right. So I'm going to just show you something like this real quick. I think I have a screenshot of that I took a screenshot of my credit card bill. I don't want to show too much without. I won't show too much. But let me see. I had took a screenshot of my credit card statement and how it showed the cash value. Well, let me see if this is it. See, it say, Patrice, how you earn cash back. You see, I got $168 just for the month of October. So every month when I use my credit card, I'm getting cash back. See, so that say cash back. So that $168.59, that's real cash that I could spend. Either I can use that as a payment towards my credit card payment. So that $168 will be applied as a payment. Or I can go in and get gift cards and order gift cards. And sometimes that's what I'll do, especially if I got a couple of clients that I like. I'll go in and I'll use my free rewards that I got and I'll go and order 5 or 6 $25 gift cards and send that to my clients at the end of the year and say, thank you, happy holidays, something like that, right? I didn't come out of a pocket. I didn't spend no money. But my client going to be happy when they get that $25 gift card in the mail, right? And then also, I would be happy if I had to have that money. So the thing with credit is if you're going to use it, for me, this is how I think. If I'm going to use it, I want to be paid for it. I want to see some benefits of me using this credit card, right? So I'm a rewards person. Either you're going to give me some cash or you're going to give me some travel points, right? You may like something else. So this is why I say credit is strategic. You want to look and see what's available for you before you just go applying for stuff or what is it that you're looking for. You get what I'm saying? So that's the best way that I can answer that. I'm gonna go down to the next question, put that back up there. So again, I'm showing y'all all kind of value. Tap in. Don't let this 5-day wealth challenge pass you by for $197 for 5 whole days. Okay. Let me see. Next question. Let me refresh the screen. YouTubers, y'all got any questions? You can open it was business and credit. So business credit versus personal credit. So your question could be regarding business credit, personal credit, whatever. All right, you got about another less than 20 minutes with me. I got to get off by 9:30. TikTokers, let's do a double tap countdown. All right, let's roll. Come on. 10, 9, 8. Okay, we're going to restart over because y'all ain't tapping. 10, 9, 8. We're going to go real slow with the seconds, okay? 5. Now, for real though, TikTokers, let's get me on the double tap countdown, y'all. Double tap that screen for me. I'm going to go over here to YouTube and see if they got any questions, and then we'll get back to answering your questions. Yes, more credit unions have the best interest rates. And this is, again, why we're on here educating, right? Because how are you going to grow? How are you going to know to do better if you don't know and understand? And credit unions are one of the best places that you can go, especially when you're looking for loans and lending. Okay, you guys, their standards are a lot lower than a big box banking institution. You get what I'm saying? Credit unions are funded by a different company. I forgot. Let me look it up real quick. So, like, you know how big box banks are funded by FDIC? They're covered by like FDIC. Credit unions are covered by a different. I'm getting ready to tell you because I hate to say stuff and not know what I'm saying. So. Credit unions are like member owned. So credit unions are owned and controlled by the people, by us, the members, right? So that's why, too, a lot of stuff counts with us, because when big box banks, they're not owned by us. They're owned by the corporations, right? And they're owned by their shareholders. So that's the reason why these big box banks have all of these fees on top of fees. Chase, BOA, they fee you out. They make millions of billions of dollars in fees alone, right? Just for you having your account there. And then if you guys are messing up and you giving them all of this fee money, right? That's another way that they win it. Most credit unions give you guys so much leniency where they have still free checking accounts. They'll give you your money back if you go to a non-ATM. If I go to Navy Federal, well, Navy Federal don't give me my money back. Who give me my money back? Do PNC give me my money back? IAA Credit Union give me my money back. PNC, my account with them, they give me my money back too. So like with some banks, if you go to a non-ATM that's not their ATM, sometimes they'll reimburse you for going to somebody else's ATM. Like, and this is some of the reasons too why a lot of credit unions do get bought out by bigger banks or other credit unions that are bigger, because sometimes their fees just, they don't charge enough in fees. I'm gonna say that, but that's good for us. All right. But the other beautiful thing with credit unions too is the fact that they're usually higher in savings products and rates, right? You're going to get a higher interest rate on your savings account, your CD, your money market account. And then when it comes to your loan, when you borrowing from them, they give you a way better rate when you're borrowing. So instead of you paying, an astronomical amount, they like at a Chase or a BOA, you can get an auto loan for sometimes 4, 5, 6%, even 0%. Sometimes. So their standards are just a lot better for us as the consumer to work with credit unions. And a lot of people don't know that. Hey, Jo. So what this is a 5-day wealth challenge. So what we're doing is we'll be on live all 5 days next week. We start on Monday. It's December 12th to December 16th. So it's the 12th to the 16th. So every day next week, we'll be on Zoom in a private Zoom workshop with our community, right? And so that's what we're going over: credit, we're going over taxes, we're going over what did I say? Life insurance. We're going over infinite banking. Infinite banking is a concept too. I just found that out. Infinite banking is actually trademarked. So a lot of these people that's on here talking about infinite banking, again, they're using somebody's trademark and not, again, really explaining things, right? So in these workshops, we get heavy into detail with explaining to you all of these different kind of concepts, right? And the benefit factors of them. And then these are all experts in their field. These are all speakers that are experts in their field. This is what they do every day, all day. So they can actually give you a lot more advice than I can. A lot of what I share with you guys is like, I'm leading you to the water, right? And then it's on you to go drink. But now I'm leading in my workshops that I give you, I'm leading you to the water, but then I also got the whole lake there with me. So now you can jump in and drink and swim and all of that, right? Because the people who are in the lake are going to lead you there. You're going to work with them. You can connect and work with them directly and get your trust set up. You can connect and work with them directly and get your life insurance set up, get your infinite banking set up if that's what qualifies you, right? But this is one of the things too that we're going over, especially with that infinite banking, because I've seen that all over TikTok too. There are so many moving parts to when it comes to financial literacy, right? Financial literacy as a whole, credit is so many moving parts. Taxes is so many moving parts. Business is so many moving parts, right? And so I hate when people put out these 30-second videos telling you guys to do this, and it may not qualify for you, right? That's what they don't say is, well, there's so many other moving parts here that we need to kind of sit down and, it's taxes, credit, business is not a one size fit all. It's really strategic. It's really planned and developed for you and your unique need. You get what I'm saying? And I just kind of hate the way that a lot of stuff with social media is today. It pushes it out like it's a one size fit all, and it's not. And I feel like a lot of people are, going into stuff, opening up LLCs, corporations, S corporations, like I said with that young lady who's telling people that you haven't even made any money in this business, but you're going to tell this person to set up a corporation and then apply for an S corp on top of that. That's bad advice. Like, no person in financial services, a real financial services person like me, would never tell you to do that. I would never tell you to open up an S corp and you just started out. The whole point of the S corp is you have to pay yourself. So your job is paying you. Your company is not paying you. So if the IRS really want to look at those direct deposits, they can clearly see that's not your company, right? That's another job that's paying you that direct deposit. So that's not real and valid. That doesn't qualify for your W-2. You get what I'm saying? So what she really told was she's really lying. That's really fraud as to the way that she said it and put it on that screen. I did a screenshot. I don't want to bring her up again because she's really irrelevant. She's a non-motherfucking factor. But she's on here lying, and I tried to tell her some information today, and I'm like, you just another one of these people that's out here just trying to get your page up, and you don't know what the hell you talking about, right? But it was 3 people who agreed and liked her comment that was responded to me. And I'm like, all of y'all are misled. Confused as hell and misled. And then you're going to be wondering when you get a tax bill as to why you get, why did this happen or why did that happen? Well, you went and set up an S corp and you had no business being one, right? So your W-2 job does not qualify for that W-2 payment that you're required to get when you set up an S corp, right? So again, it's just a lot of misinformation. We can't save them all, right? Chuck, you say, I want the room to learn. No, I learned so much from you, and vice versa, brother. Chuck say any organization could start a credit union. All right, Chuck, come on now. We're going to have to talk. The finance man, we're going to have to talk about something, Chuck. We an organization. Is it best to open up a business account with credit unions or bigger brand banks? Honestly, Raw Goddess, I have both. So I have a business account with Navy Federal, and then I also have a business account with, a bigger box bank. So you don't have to limit yourself to one. You can actually do both. I would actually recommend both because the benefit is the bigger box banks, the access is easier, right? As a business owner, we need to be able to access our money and fast, depending on what we're trying to do. So you may need to have a bank close to you, right? Navy Federal, the closest Navy Federal to me is an hour and a half away. I would have to drive to Gurnee, right, to go to an actual branch. But I do a lot of online banking, so I'm fine with, Navy Federal being an hour and a half away. So it really is up to you. But personally, I would definitely suggest to open up both. There's no one you have to do. You don't have to have one account. And actually, as a business owner, as you grow, you'll open up more than one account. You'll have your income account, you'll have your expense account, then you'll have your savings account. So as of now, I have 3 main accounts. So one, I only have deposits going into that account. 2, I only have expenses coming out, right? And then 3, I have a savings. So everybody don't start off that way. That's again why we say it's levels to this in business. But if you can definitely afford to set up all 3, definitely do that. Because the other thing too is, let's say if something happens to your debit card, right? Now you don't want your whole account gone and taken away because they took away your debit card. So that's why I have an account for my expenses, which is why if something happened to that card in this day and age, I can just cancel that card and now it's not affected. Or even if I have to close that account out, now my deposit account where all my deposits are made is not affected. Now my savings account where all my savings is sitting is not affected, right? This happens in business. It is what it is. The world that we live in, you may get hit. You may get hit by a little car cracker or something. So you got to make sure that your money, that you still have access to maneuver and handle business. You don't never want to be shut down as a business owner because you have one bank account. So that's just my advice. All right, I'm gonna do a double tap screen countdown. Not a double tap screen countdown. I'm gonna do a refresh real quick for you guys, and then we're done. So did that answer your question? Okay, Royal Goddess. Do you get the same credit? Do you get the same credit score boost as banks for paying on time? What do you mean? Do you get the same credit score boost? I don't really understand that question. When you say credit score boost as banks for paying on time, I mean any whether it's a credit card or a loan, you're paying a bank. Yes, Tamu, that's it. Fly, FLYY credit. Okay, let me refresh. It looked like I got a couple of questions that I didn't see. I answered the non-for-profit one. Yes, I'm in Chicago. I work with clients in all 50 states, though. I'm not limited to Chicago. But my office and everything is in Chicago. Yes, it is. Do you know why virtual offices don't show all states? Okay, so user 774. So virtual offices are based off of the area and location that they're in. So most virtual offices are gonna, probably only promote in their particular state, unless they're kind of well known, like a Regis. Regis has offices in probably almost all 50 states. They're one of the like biggest virtual office companies that I could kind of think of. But there are a lot other companies. So I always tell you guys, just again, go in Google and put virtual office addresses near me. And then when you put that near me, that will show exactly wherever you are in all 50 states. And it will show the office locations that are available for you to be able to set up a virtual office address. But yeah, they're all not going to show all states because all of them don't have, offices in every state. So the best way to find the nearest virtual office address near you is to just Google virtual office address near me. Put it in the Google just like that, and then it will list all of the different ones that come up in your area. Then also just look at them, make sure that they're a legitimate company, that they've, been around, that they got some reviews. Because I've seen more recently a lot of kind of fraud sites with people claiming to have virtual offices, and then they'll charge your card, and you know what I'm saying? You just want to make sure that it's a real legitimate virtual office. Any real legitimate virtual office is going to have an actual building. It's going to be a commercial building. You're going to be able to go and visit them. You can call them up and say, hey, can I come and see your space and walk through? Because those kind of companies are legitimate, right? A virtual office address is not a P.O. box. It's not the post office box. It's not the UPS store, right? We don't do those. Those are not virtual office addresses. Do not set your businesses up to those. Companies can clearly see that that's the post office, and they can clearly see it's the UPS store. So that's why you want to have to use an actual real virtual office address. And a lot of them will have a secretary. They'll have a mailbox room. You can have your mail delivered there. You can pick up your packages from there. You can usually even sometimes rent out a conference room or office space, right? So those are the real legitimate virtual offices. That's how you'll know and be able to tell. Is it a must that I pay my credit card out before I ask for an increase? So Leonard, I hate to say it's a must, but yes, in the industry, like those of us that have been in the industry and world, it is better to pay the card down, pretty much down to 0 or less than 10% before you ask for an increase. Have it been situations where people have gotten the increase without doing that? Yes, but your chances and probability of getting that increase that you want is having that card paid down. Like if that card is maxed out, a lot of times, no, you will not get the increase that you want, right? So yes, we do suggest go ahead and pay that card down, and then that way you can apply once that, and then wait till the statement cuts too. So pay the card down on your payment date, wait the 3 to 5 day grace period, which is the payment date. Because you remember you got payment date and you got statement date. Those are 2 totally different dates. That's what I was talking about with the other young lady, saying that may be why her credit isn't moving, because of the payment and the statement date thing. So make sure that the statement reports the 0 or less than 10%, and then apply for the credit card at that particular time, right? I personally did that with a secure card. I shared that with you guys before, that I have a secure card with Navy Federal. And then recently they just upgraded me to the, actually just sent me a new card, which is this one, the Visa Signature card, right? So this was their secure card. So the max that you could put on a Navy Federal secure card is $5,000. So I put $5,000 on this card. I paid it on time. On the 6th month, I paid the balance down every month anyway to under 10% or 0. But the 6th month, I specifically paid all the way down. I spent like $4,800. I paid the whole $4,800 and had the balance down to 0. When my statement date cut, literally, I didn't even have to call them. I got a card in the mail, which was this card originally. They sent me this first card without the signature. But now, if you notice, it says Visa Signature. So these are 2 different type of cash reward cards now. But literally paid that on time for 6 months, and I doubled my $5,000. I turned this $5,000 secured card. It turned into an unsecured card now. And I had that $5,000 returned back to my savings account. So the initial 5 that I put up on here, they put back in my savings account. And then I still had this $5,000 unsecured card that I was able to use. So I had $10,000 in October, but I started off with $5,000. So I literally doubled my money in 6 months. Like, these are what I'll be talking about with some of these strategies. That's the strategy, right? And it's just a lot of us don't talk about these strategies to help each other out. So that's a really good way. I tell like I say, I keep it real. I'm the realest tax and business strategist you meet. I tell my strippers and my drug dealers all the time, if you an old time drug dealer and you got cash put up, you need to build your credit. cash still works, right? So if you got to use your own cash to build your credit up, hey, all right, but you could still manage it and you could still flip it and earn more cash and credit along the way. So that's how you would do that. You say you may have already answered this question, but my phone went out about the credit repair. Okay, let me see, Tim. Oh, thanks, Boo. This from CBS girl, $7. $7, girl. Hawks Marie say, I'm about them rewards too. Come on, Boo. Hey, you got to earn something. You got my money charging me, because if I give you a little interest percentage, what I'm getting, right? So that was October. I think now I'm at like 200 some dollars in cash rewards for this month. And I really let mine build up. I don't really use mine. I let my cash rewards build up. I don't apply it to the account because I just let it build up. I don't need it right now. But it would be great. So just imagine if you had $1,000 in cash rewards sitting there. And let's say one month you maybe couldn't pay it. Maybe you got so many bills or it's Christmas time like right now. That $1,000 cash reward, baby, that's a lot of money. Them some good Christmas gifts for them kids. You go to the Dollar Tree, I can go to the Dollar Tree and be Santa in the hood, right? So I was telling my business partner that I want to go. I want to do something this year for Christmas for the kids. I don't know. I'm gonna maybe go to some shelter or partner with somebody, some shelter, and maybe just go and give away toys or something. I haven't figured it out yet, but I definitely want to give back this little holiday season. So we'll see. But all of that comes in handy. Let me see if Big Smooth re-asks his question, because I don't understand the question that you asked me. I got you, Boo. I understand, Tim. I understand. All right, looks like we answered everybody's question, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here because I got to go make a run. And let me make sure. Let me check YouTube. Chuck, you always on here putting some on here. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation only insures deposits in banks. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciated you, because that's what I was looking for, and I got off track. Credit unions have their own insurance. Let me read what Chuck put on here. This is why Chuck, the finance guy, this is why he's going to be part of the 5-day challenge. Chuck says the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation only insures deposits in banks. That's the FDIC. That's that $250,000 that they have on there, right? So that's $250,000 per account. So if you have an individual account, that account is covered up to $250,000. If you have a joint bank account with your husband, with your name and somebody else's name, that account is covered up to $250,000. Okay. Remember, I used to work in banking, so I used to be a banker. So there is some breakdown with that, with those deposits, with that FDIC, right? But this is the biggest thing. Credit unions are not owned by the FDIC. Credit unions have their own insurance fund ran by the National Credit Union Administration, which is NCUA. Okay. Now they still insure your money. Let me see. Do they got a dollar amount on here? Most banks will tell you, they'll have it at the bottom on their page. Like, we insure up to 250,000, 100,000. They'll usually say it. Let me go on here and see if they got it on here on their website. Because your money got to be insured. Okay, they are. 250,000. So they are, well, most of them. This particular bank is credit union. Yeah, so they're still doing a 250,000. But there are two different entities and industries that own that. That's why credit unions have a different rule and regulation, and that's why the banks have a different rule and regulation, because they're not backed financially by the same organizations. But it is still federally insured. It's still a federally insured program, which is NCUA. All right. But it's just a different type of program. And again, just one that they really don't talk about or educate too much about. So most of the stuff on my channel that I try to talk to you guys about is what you don't learn in school. Okay. So hopefully tonight you learned something new. I'm getting ready to get off of here, and I will be back on tomorrow. Okay. Yes, they are, Chuck. A lot of them are getting exposed. And then you say the National Credit Union Share Insurance Fund was created by Congress in 1970. Deposits in federally insured credit unions. Okay, yeah, that's more recent. In 1970. It's probably why they're not pushing them and talk. Well, they don't talk about banking and credit and taxes any dang on way. You ain't gonna never learn that in school, unfortunately. So, but thank you, Chuck. All right, let me make sure. You are welcome. All right, TikTokers, I am out. We will see you tomorrow. Probably around this same time. I'm a little later today than I planned on coming, but I try to get on anywhere between 6:30 to 7. So tomorrow I do plan on being on around that 6:30 time frame. So we'll be on tomorrow. And then I do come on in the beginning of the day, but I usually do something not too long when I come on in the daytime. But definitely tomorrow evening, I'll be on tonight. I mean, tomorrow night, I'll be on like I was tonight. It's time for me to go. I need to get some rest. I'm tongue tied. All right. Have a good night, TikTokers. See y'all soon. YouTube, I am out. Chuck, I'm going to get ready to hit you now. I'll call you back. All right.